Hey guys, what's going on, dudes? It is David here, and we are back with another podcast. Now, here today, I have a special guest with me. I have SJ. Would you like to say hello to the people?
Hey, how you doing, man? How y'all doing?
This, as you guys can tell from the shirt he's wearing, is a fellow Falcons fan. And what we'll be talking about today is a couple Falcons topics that have been going around recently. Now, the first topic I wanted to go on is the fact that we don't know who the starting quarterback is going to be, because I've been seeing articles about Desmond Ritter's leadership, and that's really impressive, and that's really connecting with some of the Falcons players. Now, otherwise, they have Marcus Mariota, who has a past history with the coach of the Atlanta Falcons, as Arthur Smith. Who do you think should be the starting quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons?
Like you said, like they have past history. Arthur Smith, he has worked with Marcus Mariota, so I figured going in the season, he could go with Marcus Mariota. I mean, Desmond Ridder is a great quarterback. Nothing against him. He, he's a winner, but at the same time, he's not experienced. So, he has to get, used to the speed of the game. He got to know, how everything, he has to get into a routine. Where Marcus Mariota, he's been at Oakland. He has been playing behind Derek Carr, so he knows like what it takes, and then at the same time being in Tennessee with Arthur Smith, and then he was able to play behind other people and has experience knowing what it is to be a starter actually, and then got his position, kind of took from him, and then he had to become a backup. So he has experience. So I would like Marcus Mariota to start the season and go from there, because I'm pretty sure that's what Arthur Smith did, because, shout out to Matt Ryan, he's, he was a franchise leader, he's a quarterback, and, he did a lot for this franchise, so when we had to let him go, it was devastating, but at the same time, we all have to move on sometimes, so, when we got Marcus, it was like, all right, Arthur, you got someone that you're familiar with. So I wouldn't say, why would you get that person that you're familiar with and then go with someone that just came out of college? So I feel like, it's a reason why he's gonna, go with Marcus Mariota, and I think that's a good choice, and then rock with that. And if Marcus is doing good, I know I want to see Desmond Ridder too, but he'll get his chance. But if Marcus is doing good things for us, then I think it'll be good.
Yeah, so picking up on that, because I remember I did a video discussing the Falcons' schedule. Now, the Falcons' first game is against the New Orleans Saints. It's going to be at the Falcons Stadium, at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And I think if I remember my predictions right, I gave the Falcons at least 5 to 6 wins. I was being very harsh, and I was being very upset, because I'm a Matt Ryan fan, yeah. And I love Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's the one that's led us to the playoffs the most in the Falcons' history, so I love Matt Ryan. But we traded him, and judging by the season, I mean, the first 2 games starting off, one is against the Saints, one is against the Rams. What do you think? What is your prediction when it comes to the schedule for the Atlanta Falcons?
You say 5 wins, I could say. I think we can sneak into the playoffs. I really think that.
Interesting.
Not being a diehard fan or anything, I just feel like the players he bringing in, the familiarity with, what he's trying to do, what Terry Fontenot trying to do, what Arthur Smith is trying to do. I think it's always a goal of I think we could sneak in the playoffs. Do I think we could be, number 1 seed in the NFC? No. But, I think we have a home game against the Saints. I think that's a winnable game. I mean, we don't know them; they don't know us. They're not preparing for Matt Ryan anymore.
Yeah, they're preparing
for Marcus Mariota. Back at they're gonna watch Tennessee films against like what Marcus did at Tennessee.
Yeah. With
Derrick Henry and stuff, like, you know what I mean. And then we got Cordell Patterson, and then we got some receivers. We got Kyle Pitts, and we got Drake London. He's building something, and so I think it's a possible game. It's to the point we could. The reason why I think we could sneak, and win some games on people, because we don't have that film. You didn't see Marcus Mariota didn't play for the Falcons before.
Yep.
So when you think about it, it's like he has something up his sleeve. It's not like Matt Ryan, where we know Matt Ryan is not gonna run. when certain situations, and after a while he's gonna sling it around and he is gonna do that. It's like, all right, we cool. We know what they're gonna do. It's like, well, Marcus, you know what I mean? He's healthy. He's been a backup. I mean, he could run. I mean, don't get me wrong. 3rd and 4, he could run.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? And it might throw them off. Marcus Mariota is healthier than James Winston. He's coming off a damn torn ACL right now. So we don't know
what's gonna happen.
So we can't just say exactly.
Yeah.
And they didn't sign Deshaun Watson because we wanted him too. So they didn't get him. They wanted him. We wanted him.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
But we didn't. So they didn't get anybody improved. So, it's like, okay, James Winston is a good quarterback. No disrespect to him too. Neither. He's a great quarterback also. But he's coming off an injury too. Marcus Mariota, let's help. He got number 1. He's been at training camp. He's been working. He's been getting familiar with the offense. He's been working with Desmond Ridder. He knows he's getting competition. He knows what it is. So I think his mindset is like he wants to start because he's still 28, I think. So
yeah, 28, 29.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I could still, Matt Ryan is what, 34, 35,
32, 33.
33. Okay, so he's still telling himself he could.
Yeah.
He could.
But I definitely do see your reasoning behind us possibly.
And then the Rams, what's the odds we're gonna play
the Super Bowl champ,
the champs, the second season? So there we go on the road. So it's like, okay, but guess what? It's not a division game. It's a conference game. But we're playing the champs on the road. Hey, anything could happen. You know what I mean? Like, that's a good game to watch, being a fan, Like, hey, and then that's going in, like the, old wise man told me, you know what I mean? Hey, if you're already dead, then, how can they kill you? So,
yeah.
Hey, if we're already going to be projected to lose, that's a Super Bowl champ, we don't have nothing to lose. Just go in and play football.
We're legit going to be the underdogs when it comes to that game.
Come to that game.
Yeah.
So just go in there and do what you did maybe week 1. Try to do it better, but we don't know what they will do against the Saints. But the Super Bowl champ is a game where it's like, damn, on the road against the champs, but we're not going to be projected to win that game.
Yeah.
And you don't know what's going to happen. And at the same time, I figure you can go in. They buckle their chin strap. They put their pants on just like any other football player. So, and they got to play within them 100 lines like we all do. So when we kick off, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Back to Matt Ryan for a quick minute, because we all know when it came to Matt Ryan being the starting quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons, he had to run a lot because the offensive line could not protect him.
Mm-hmm.
But if we take a look at this offensive line, what I think is going to be the offensive line for the Atlanta Falcons, left tackle, we just extended him with the new contract, Jake Matthews. He's been our left tackle for a while now. I think he got drafted 2014 in the first round. Left guard is going to be a position that's kind of open because Jalen Mayfield did have a couple games last season, and he did do very good. Center is going to be Matt Hennessy, who I think is going to be a definitely potential starter in the future. Right guard is definitely going to be Chris Lindstrom. But the position that's the position that I'm going to be looking at this mostly is going to be right tackle and Caleb McGarry. So the two positions that are going to be very questionable when it comes to this are going to be left guard and right tackle. What's your opinion on the positions?
I mean, McGarry, we didn't pick up his 5th option for a reason. I don't think he's like, a franchise centerpiece. I think we didn't, he could probably test for agency next year. We could see what's going on. But when we doubled back for him, and got him, it wasn't too good. I didn't like that pick. I mean, he played for us, and then again, no disrespect to him, but it's just like he wasn't. I think we reached for him. I don't think he was a good pick. But our guard position is solid. Chris, he's good. Chris Lundstrom, he's a Boston College smart kid. Matt Ryan went there. His alumni is a reason why we checked him out. So we got him. But when we doubled back and got McGarry, it was like, nah. I mean, we could have doubled back and got another position because right now we didn't pick up his 5th option. But at the same time, that was an era where not Terry Fontenot.
Arthur Smith.
Arthur Smith.
Wait, no, you're talking about the offensive coordinator? The offensive coordinator?
Yeah, you know what I mean? He was like, he tried to do what he can do, got players in, and it was like, nah, it wasn't going to work. So,
So now moving on to the defensive side position, which is where the Falcons struggled a lot when it came to, like having players and having good players on that. The best defensive player, I think, for the Falcons that's going to be leading up into next season had a breakout season last season. That was AJ Terrell. Now, AJ Terrell definitely is going to have to prove himself this year because he's going to be going against some of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Do you think that AJ Terrell could have like a star season where he's like the number one guy for the Atlanta Falcons?
AJ Terrell is the face of the Atlanta Falcons right now. Shout out to AJ Terrell, Wesley Carroll High School, ATL, you know what I mean? He's the face right now, and he's doing his thing. He's quietly becoming an all pro, you know what I mean? And he's definitely doing his thing. He's going to be good. He's going to be, he's going to be okay. He's shown the last couple of years that he's a good corner, and he could be the number one corner on any team in the league. So I'm glad we have him. That was a good pick for us, and I think he'll be fine.
And I remember that day AJ Terrell got picked by the Atlanta Falcons. It was the 2020 NFL draft. He got picked out of Clemson. And I'll be honest, when that pick came out, I did not expect AJ Terrell to be the pick, but he's shown out and he has the potential to become one of the best cornerbacks.
When you say that, well, why would you say he's not? You didn't like that pick, like?
I didn't expect the Falcons to go corner.
And then and he got torched like crazy, right?
Yes.
In the championship game right before that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody doubted him because he was at Clemson in that championship game. And he got torched all day long against Alabama. And then it was like, okay, he's not as good as he is, but he's a good corner. He's like all pro. He's really good corner. He's really good. Yeah. So, I think we needed that. And the last good corner, well, who would you say was the last good corner we had?
The last good corner, Desmond Trufant.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
And look how Desmond Trufant turned out.
And he was all right. You know what I mean? And then now he just went to Detroit. We had to let him go. And why did we let him go? Because we couldn't pay him. We could have still had him.
Because the previous GM was just giving out money to players that didn't really deserve that type of money at the time.
And Thomas Dimitroff, you know what I mean? He's a great GM. He's really great. You know what I mean? He got Julio to us. He drafted Matt Ryan. He did a couple good things. He did great things. It's just, so when it came to like signing certain people or keeping certain people, it was just like he handcuffed us. And at the same time, as much as a lot of people, Matt Ryan, like he got paid all that money, which he well deserved. But at the same time, there was a lot of other players that we had to pay.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt Ryan deserved that money, well deserving.
Oh, he definitely deserved that money.
He deserved it, but it just other people other players we couldn't keep. So
yeah.
So
moving on into our final question now. When it comes to next season for the NFL draft next season, if the Falcons don't actually perform as I think they're going to perform, which is going to be 5 wins. Let's say they're in the battle for the number 1 pick. Which quarterback from college football do you think the Falcons should take next year if they do go for the quarterback position?
That's a good question. That's a great question because we already got Desmond Ridder, so now you pretty much saying if we would have to go to get quarterback, we got Desmond Ridder on the roster. So at the same time, if we're gonna already have Marcus Mariota, Desmond Ridder, and now we're gonna be in a position for a quarterback, that means Desmond Ridder didn't do good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was up to me. If we have the number 1 pick, all right. Bryce Young, he's a good quarterback. He's a great quarterback.
He is.
He's the Heisman winner. He went to Alabama. He's NFL ready. But his structure is just what scares me. Now with CJ Stroud, he has that build to him. You know what I mean? But he not in the SEC.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, can he really hold up? Like SEC, it's the number 1 is a conference that produces a lot of NFL prospects. So Alabama, it's like, okay, Bryce Young is like, okay, if you ask me, it's just like, oh, a lot of people say Bryce Young off the rip. But CJ Stroud's like, he good. You know what I mean? Good. He's pretty good. He got the size. He got that build. Bryce Young is like, he's really small. He can get, he's tiny. He's smaller than you know what I mean?
Is he smaller than Tua? No,
Yes.
Tua. He's smaller than Tua?
Yes.
I did not even know that.
He's smaller than Tua. So he's, his structure was that's what he mean. The line at Alabama, he could just sit there and just sling it left, right.
Alabama's offensive line
is amazing. But when you get to the league, he's not that big.
That's why Alabama quarterbacks don't do good in the NFL.
Exactly.
Because
that's what scares me.
Yeah.
But and again, quarterbacks from Ohio State
don't do very well either.
But CJ Stroud has the structure. He can sling it around. He has the arm strength, and he's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, to answer your question, if I wanted to get any one of those quarterbacks, I would go with CJ Stroud. All
right. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to check out SJ and everything that he does. I'm gonna put his links down in the description down below for his Instagram, all his social media apps when it comes to that. But that's it for today's video, guys. I will see you guys all later. Peace.